Hardball, which candidate will be the #1 target in the first Democratic presidential debate tomorrow night at South Carolina State University? And who stands to break out of the pack? Big questions, offense and defense tomorrow night. MSNBC political analyst Pat Buchanan is no stranger to presidential debates. And Hardball political analyst Bob Shrum knows firsthand how candidates prepare for debate. Bob, it's good to have you here. Let's talk about being one of those guys. Well, let's try to be John Edwards tonight. You know him well. You've worked with him in these kind of situations. How does John Edwards prove his seniority over Obama? Prove that he's been in the business longer, he's a more credible candidate. How's he do it?
Well, I think he's going to try to own a couple of issues that are really critical. One is health care, especially where he's put out a big health care plan. Look, as Pat knows, when you got all these people on stage, no one person can win in a conventional sense. So you have to go in there with a strategic purpose and objective. Edwards' is going to be to own health care. Obama, I think, has an opportunity because they're all demanding substance under the sizzle to, instead of saying that he'll offer a health care plan in 2 or 3 weeks in a speech, provide one right there in the debate.
Okay, substance. Do you think that will work, Pat?
I wouldn't fool. I mean, health care, of course, is a Democratic
substance
issue.
Generally, is it a smart move?
I think what Obama does, he's got you go after your negatives. The negative on Obama is this guy qualified and heavy enough to be president? You not only show your humor, I think he's got the golden opportunity here. Show some knowledge, show some wisdom, and really present yourself as, don't go after Hillary Rodham Clinton, but present yourself as a real and more attractive alternative. The future, we're new. He's got ideas, and he is. I think Jerry Brown was right. This guy can be president of the United States. That's what you want him to say.
So push the charisma button. Push charisma.
Well, yeah, but
just talk to the crowd.
You got to have substance. He's got to have substance because that's his problem.
The Nixon-Kennedy debate, the most famous debate we all watched growing up. Kennedy basically ignored Nixon and went right to the audience. He spoke. He had a wonderful 8-minute opening statement. He talked to the audience and ignored Nixon. Is that smart for Obama, you're saying? Go to the audience.
Go straight to the audience. Don't go after Nixon. Nixon fouled up by 7 or 8 times. I agree with Senator Kennedy. He was supposed to be above Kennedy. Kennedy raised himself.
Henry Cabot Lodge got to beforehand and said, erase the assassin's image right before he went on the air.
Right.
He got him the chicken out. Anyway, let's ask about the other candidates. Imagine you're one of the 3 other candidates, the senators and Richardson. Dodd, Biden, and Richardson. You've got a good career behind you. People know you've got the track record, but nobody sees you in the mix at the top. Bob, how do you get the press to start paying attention to you and the public?
They've got to make a distinctive argument, and I haven't heard one so far. I mean, I think that Chris Dodd and Joe Biden like to talk about all their experience on the Foreign Relations Committee, Bill Richardson at the UN and in negotiating. But experience is kind of a threshold question. If people decide that Obama has enough experience, Edwards has enough experience, and I think they believe absolutely that Hillary has enough, then the experience is not a cutting-edge issue. It can't get you into the race.
Right. What about
Richardson? I think Richardson has an opportunity because he's got a terrific persona. He's got a sense of humor. He smiles. He's a different
big
guy.
He's lost a lot of weight, but he's still a big presence.
He can think of some lines of wit and stuff like that to make him stand out. It's much tougher for me to see how Biden and Dodd do it. I can see how Kucinich is going to identify with Obama. 4 other candidates he here is going to say, voted for this war. Obama and I were the only 2 really opposed.
Yeah, I think that. How does Hillary deal with Hillary Clinton, the senator from New York? How does she deal, Bob, with what looks to me there's going to be a pincer around her from all sides? You authorized the war. You're part of the problem. You're not part of the solution. How does she deal with that?
I don't think anybody will say that in that way straight to her unless it's Kucinich. I think she is not going to attack Obama because I think that strategy has failed. And what she really needs is a kind of break out of the box, sister soldier moment in reverse. For example, and now Pat and I can disagree, I think she might think it's smart to say that she was for renewing the assault weapons ban and for closing the gun show loophole before she gets asked. They're all going to get asked. It would surprise people if she did that. It would make her look like she wasn't taking the safe conventional course.
Do you think she'll honestly take on the Second Amendment in this presidential campaign?
Well, I think the NRA is going to take her on, so I think that this would be a moment of apparent bravery that actually would cost her little.
I hear she's going to demur on this. We'll be right back with Pat Buchanan and Bob Shrum. They're staying with us. And up next, John McCain.